I feel like for a decent amount of time after Dirk, Tim Duncan, KG all retired, the power forward position was definitely the weakest in the NBA. It's because we were kind of transitioning to that 3-and-D power forward style, or a power forward that could also play make as well. Basically the Draymond Green style 4, the stretch 4. But now I think the position in 2023 is as loaded as ever. It does help with a lot of new guys entering the league in the last few years that are really good power forwards, as well as guys switching positions and being from small forwards to moving up, or either centers, maybe moving to the 4, down a spot. So yeah, today I'm going to be ranking my top 30 power forwards in the NBA for the 2024 season. Basically, what we've done the last 3 weeks, where we rank point guards, shooting guards, small forwards. So if there's a player that isn't mentioned in this power forward list, I would go back and watch the small forward list, or just wait till next week till I rank the centers, and maybe they're going to be in that video also. So yeah, let me know what you guys agree with or disagree with in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get into it. So coming in at number 30, we have Brandon Clarke of the Memphis Grizzlies. I absolutely loved coming out of Gonzaga in the 2019 NBA draft. I was kind of surprised when he fell to pick 21. And I think Clarke has been very consistent over the 4 years he's played so far in the NBA. He's going to be coming off an Achilles tear though, so there's a good chance he misses the first half of this season, but when I think he's on the floor, he's a guy that can do a little bit of everything. His 3-point shot has definitely gotten worse since he came into the league in 2020, but he's still efficient at the rim, a career 60% field goal shooter, and he's scored above double digits every single year, 12 points in his rookie year, then 10.3, 10.4, and then 10 flat last year. Gets over assists a night, around 5.5 rebounds, gets some offensive boards, plays good defense. I like Clarke a lot. He's coming in at number 30 to kickstart off this list. Coming in at number 29, we have Isaiah Stewart of the Detroit Pistons. Stewart has gotten better each year since he entered the league in the 2021 season. Stewart was the 16th overall pick in that draft, and I'll be honest, I didn't love that selection. I didn't think he was going to have much of a shot coming out of Washington, and last year for the Pistons, he did shoot 33% from 3 on 4 attempts a night. I liked his shot. He had 11 points per game, 8 rebounds, played some solid defense, and got a contract extension from the Pistons as well, so he's going to be there long term. And I don't think he's the best power forward in the world, but I think I can be confident saying he's a top 30 power forward in the league, and I have him coming in at number 29. Coming in at number 28, we have slow-mo Kyle Anderson of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anderson is by far from being one of the more exciting players in the league, but he's somebody that's just a grit and grind dude, has really played for the most grit and grind teams in San Antonio from 2015 to 2018, and then Memphis from 2019 to 2022. Last year was his first year with the Timberwolves, and he's a leader of that team. He averages around 9 points a night, gives you around 5 assists, which was a career high last year, 5 rebounds as well. He could play the point forward spot, get you over a steal a night, and he was efficient from the floor as well. 50% from the field, 41% from 3, 74% from the line. He's still 29 years old, so you're going to be getting him into his age 30 season. I don't know how much longer he's going to be on the top 30 of this list, and I probably wouldn't want him as my starting power forward, but somebody coming off the bench like the Timberwolves have, it's a great place to be. This is a huge year for Jonathan Kuminga, and that's why he's coming in at number 27. I definitely would have had Kuminga a lot higher if Draymond Green wasn't coming back in Golden State, so I do worry a little bit about Kuminga's opportunity going into year 3. How short of a leash it seems like these young Warriors players have had, like James Wiseman most recently. Kuminga did improve though from his rookie year to his sophomore year last year though. His field goal percentage went up, his 3-point percentage went up, averaged more rebounds, more assists, more points, and about 4 more minutes a night. He did take around 7.5 shots last year for Golden State, so I do hope we could see that get close to 9 this year. He's about to turn 21 years old as well, so he's still super young, and maybe this isn't the year for Kuminga, but I'm not selling my stock. I still think he's going to be a good player and still going to be worth the number 7 overall pick he was in the 2021 draft coming out of the G League Ignite. So yeah, these are the rankings for the 2024 season. I do have Jared Vanderbilt a spot ahead of Kuminga at 26. Long term though, I definitely like Kuminga. I'd rather have him on my team, but I think next year Vanderbilt will be better. His numbers did drop off a little bit going from Utah to LA, but I still love this guy as a role player power forward spot, especially as a backup. He's a great rebounder for his size at 6'9". He gives you an efficient 8 or so points a night, shoots around 52% from the field. He's great in transition, and he is great in the passing lanes as well as an off-ball defender. I think that's where he's best at. I still can't believe the Lakers were able to get him at last year's trade deadline as well. And I didn't really love his game coming out of Kentucky. He was the 41st pick in the 2018 draft, but he's what championship teams need, man. He's somebody that's going to play some defense, run the floor, not demand the ball too much, and just do the little things that you need to succeed as an NBA team. And that's why I have Vanderbilt coming in 1 spot ahead of Kuminga at 26. I know some people will have some gripes with that. So before we get into the top 25, I do want to bring up to the discussion of Miles Bridges. I didn't really know where to rank him, and I want to ask you guys where you would rank him for the 2024 season in the comments, because he didn't play at all last year. He was suspended technically. He had some pretty huge off-the-court issues as well. So yeah, that's just why he's not going to be ranked in this video. So let me know where you'd have him in the comments below. Coming in at number 25, we have another LA Laker, and that's Rui Hachimura. I do think, like Vanderbilt, Hachimura does benefit with playing with one of the best playmakers of all time in LeBron James. We saw how much better Hachimura was in LA after getting traded from Washington. And Hachimura was great in those conference finals against the Nuggets. He was also phenomenal basically the whole playoffs. He didn't play as much against Golden State. That was more of a strategy decision from the Lakers. But yeah, he had 25 minutes per game in round one in the 6 games against Memphis. He gave you 14.5 points on 57% shooting. Also was good from 3. And then against the Nuggets in the conference finals, I know they got swept, but he shot 53% from the field, 33% from 3, was perfect from the line, and gave you 15 points a night. He was one of their better players. And Hachimura is coming off that new 3-year extension as well, so the Lakers definitely see how important he is to their team. He's going to turn 26 this season, and we're going to be seeing prime Hachimura. I like him a lot as a player, and the Lakers have 2 power forwards here. Shout out to them. Coming in at number 24, we have Jeremy Sochan of the San Antonio Spurs. I love Sochan's rookie season, man. I didn't expect him to light the world on fire or be the most efficient player ever, and he definitely had a slow start to the season, but he had a much better second half. He put up 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists a night for the Spurs last season. And he did deal with some injuries in the second half of the year, but in his final 19 games, he started all 19. He gave the Spurs 15.5 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, plus defense, shot 46% from the field, 30% from 3, 79% from the line, and one of the most unorthodox free throw releases I have seen. But yeah, I do think Sochan is a perfect 4 next to Wemby if Wemby is going to play some 5, and the Spurs definitely made the right selection, taking him number 9 overall in the 2022 draft. Another player from the 2022 draft here at 23, and that is Tari Eason of the Houston Rockets. I did like Eason a little bit more than Sochan coming out of the draft last year, so I thought it was phenomenal value for the Rockets to snag him at 17. Eason put up 9 points, 6 rebounds, over assists a night, 1.2 steals, shot 45% from the field, 34% from 3. And this dude is also just a beast on the offensive glass as well. He had 2.5 offensive rebounds a night out of his total 6. And he's 6'8" as well. He's not like the tallest guy in the world, but he's physical inside. He hustles. He does all the little things well. And the Rockets hit a home run with this pick at 17, in my opinion. We got a new Dallas Maverick coming in at number 22, and that is Grant Williams. I'm going to love the fit for Grant Williams in Dallas next season, playing alongside Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. Because Grant definitely turned down some decent money after the 2022 season and disappointed a little bit last year, but the counting numbers were solid. 8 points a night, 4.5 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 39% from 3, and I think that's an underrated part of his game. He's a good 3-point shooter. In 2021, in his second year, he shot 37 from 3. In 2022, he shot 41% from 3. And last year, shooting just below 40%. He's going to be a great catch-and-shoot guy for Luka and Kyrie next year in Dallas. I think this is a phenomenal signing for them. And there's a good chance that Grant Williams is a top 20 power forward in 2024. We got another Williams here coming in at number 21, and that is Patrick Williams of the Chicago Bulls. I feel like every year we say this is the year Patrick Williams is going to break out. I don't think he's going to be a top 15 power forward this year, sadly. Now, we may see just a massive improvement on the defensive end because we saw a great jump last year from him on that side of the ball. But I just wonder if we're going to ever see that jump on the offensive side, playing behind guys like Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, and even other guys like Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, that end up getting more shots than him. He did take 8 attempts a night last year. I would love to see that north of 10 because the Bulls did take him with the 4th overall pick in the 2020 draft. And at the time, that was kind of a shocker. So I would just love to see Patrick Williams break out. I just don't know if we're going to see it on the offensive side of the ball in 2024. Coming in at number 20, we have the 3rd overall pick from the 2022 draft, and that is Jabari Smith Jr. We all knew, though, when Jabari Smith Jr. was going to be drafted last year, he was going to take a little bit more time to develop. He was definitely not as NBA ready as Paolo Banchero was. And while he was in a terrible position last year in Houston with the coaching staff and the overall team environment, he did struggle overall from the field to start off his rookie campaign, but he had a phenomenal end to his rookie season. He was only 19, and in his final 17 games, he averaged 16.5 points, 8 rebounds, and shot 47% from the field and 36% from 3. I think Jabari Smith is going to be a very good power forward in this league for a very long time. I have him ranked at 20 this year, and I think going into next year, he could be in the top 15, year after that in the top 10, and one day, I think he could be a top 5 power forward in this league. We have Harrison Barnes of the Sacramento Kings here coming in at number 19. Barnes isn't the sexiest player in the world. He did just get a contract extension from the Kings, and he's been very consistent since getting traded there to Sacramento from Dallas back in the 2019 season. The last 4 full years years in Sacramento, he's averaged 15.5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists a night. He's actually shot 39% from 3, which kind of shocked me. He's a good free throw shooter, shoots 47% from the field, not a negative asset or liability on the defensive end. And he's not somebody that's going to win you playoff series or really lock down a team's best offensive player. I still think he is a top 20 power forward in this league. I don't know if we're ever going to see him take another step in his career, so I think this is pretty much where he's going to be till the end of his prime. Okay, so an editor note here after Harrison Barnes. This is where I would have John Collins. I did mess up and not have him in my original ranking. He definitely has top 15 potential going into next year's season. I'm excited to see what he can do in Utah next year. So yeah, sorry about not ranking him originally. He'd be around this spot. Speaking of the end of players' primes, we do have Bojan Bogdanovic coming in here at number 18. Bojan was great last year for the Pistons, in which he was kind of the number one guy once Cade Cunningham went down. He averaged 21.5 points, shot 48% from the field and 41% from 3. He's really been consistent in the NBA since coming over from Turkey. As he was drafted in the 2011 draft, he didn't play his first season until 2015. He shoots 39% from 3 throughout his career. I do think he's going to get traded at this year's trade deadline. He'll be 35 years old towards the end of the season, but I still think he's a top 20 power forward in this league. We have a Team USA member here coming in at number 17, and that is Bobby Portis of the Milwaukee Bucks. Portis has just been so good for Milwaukee since signing with them in the 2020 offseason. He was such a vital part of their 2021 championship run as a big off the bench, and he's been great for Milwaukee in the last 2 years. Actually, in 2022, he was more of a center. Last year, he went back to his more natural position as a power forward. And in the past 2 seasons, he's averaged 14.5 points, 9.5 rebounds for Milwaukee. He's actually a really good 3-point shooter as well for a big, shoots around 38% from 3. He's still only 28 years old. He's one of the more underrated bench players in this league. Number 16 is going to be Kyle Kuzma of the Washington Wizards. I was surprised that Kyle Kuzma did re-sign with the Wizards this past offseason. I thought he was going to leave to more of a bigger market, but the Wizards did give him a lot of money and he was good for them last year. Now, he wasn't the most efficient player in the world. He did give them 21 points and 7 rebounds, as well as almost 4 assists a night, which was a nice career high from Kuzma. He shot 44% from the field and 33% from 3, as well as 73% from the line. And I think he's going to have the same amount of volume, if not more, as the number 1 scoring option up there with Jordan Poole this year for the Wizards. And I don't think that the efficiency is going to improve too much. So that's why he's coming in here at number 16, just outside the top 15. So to start up the top 15, we have Jeremy Grant of the Portland Trailblazers. What gives Grant the edge over Kyle Kuzma is the defensive side of the ball. And Grant was actually really good last year for Portland in his first year with the Trailblazers. He gave them 20.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, shot 47% from the field, and 40% from 3. Now, if you look at this as a whole with the contract included, maybe I wouldn't have him this high because I didn't think that contract was great at all. And I don't think it's going to age particularly well. But taking into account both sides of the ball, Grant is a top 15 power forward in my opinion this year. Third guy in a row that got paid this offseason, we got Cam Johnson coming in here at 14. Cam Johnson is also a member of Team USA as well. He was phenomenal last year for the Brooklyn Nets in 25 games after getting traded in the KD trade. In those 25 games, he did average 16.5 points, 4.8 rebounds, and shot 47% from the field, 37% from 3, 85 from the line. He's a career 39% 3-point shooter in his first 4 years in the NBA. He was older coming out of college at UNC. He's already 27 years old, so this is pretty much the start of Cameron Johnson's prime, and I do think he's a phenomenal shooter and one of the best overall shooters in the NBA. We have Kristaps Porzingis here at number 13. Kristaps over the last couple of years has been going back and forth between power forward and center. I'm locking him in as a power forward this year with the Boston Celtics. I think that does loom over Kristaps is his injury concerns. And he already has plantar fasciitis, so he might be hurt to start the 2023 season, but he's supposed to be cleared from the start of training camp, and he was phenomenal last year with the Wizards. 23 points, 8.5 rebounds, 49% from the field, 38% from 3. In my opinion, could have been an all-star as well. Now, those numbers are definitely going to go down because he's not going to be the top 2 scorer on the team like he was last year for Washington. He's going to be behind Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but I think he could be the 3rd leading scorer ahead of guys like Malcolm Brogdon and Derek White. Now, this may shock some people at number 12, but I do have Draymond Green for this season. Now, Draymond Green is still one of the best defenders in the NBA, but I do think that this season we're going to see a little bit of regression from Draymond. Now, his offense leaves a lot to be desired. He still shoots an overall 53% from the field, 30% from 3 isn't the worst in the world. And he hasn't scored north of 10 plus points per game since the 2018 season. But like I said, he's one of the best overall defenders in the NBA, and the power forward position has gotten a lot better, so this may be a hot take of me having him in at number 12, so I'd love to hear where you guys have him in the comments below. Because at number 11, I have Paolo Banchero. Now, this was a late switch for me as of late, just because I've been watching Paolo play for Team USA, and he was phenomenal against New Zealand. And his rookie season had its ups and downs, in which he won Rookie of the Year. He averaged 20 points per game as a 19-year-old rookie, which is very impressive. Also gave the Magic Magic 7 rebounds and almost 4 assists a night. I do think he needs to work on his shooting as well because the 3-point percentage was at 29%. He had his inconsistent games, but the talent is definitely there. I think Banchero is going to take a massive step in year 2, and I'm super excited to watch him for the Magic this season. Now, to start off the top 10 is a player that Banchero is going to be compared to basically for the rest of his career because they were taken one draft apart. They're both power forwards, both in the same conference at the moment, and number 10 is Evan Mobley. Now, there's a chance that Evan Mobley could win Defensive Player of the Year in year 3. He was already in the running and in the conversation last year in his sophomore year. I would like to see him take a little bit of a step on the offensive side of the ball, hopefully to improve his jump shot, his mid-range game, and even his 3-point shot because he's taken over a 3 net in the first 2 years of his career, shooting 25% from 3 in his rookie season and then 21% from 3 last year. In his first career playoff series against the Knicks, he averaged under 10 points per game, gave them 10 rebounds, shot 45% from the field, didn't hit a 3, 62% from the line as well. But I think that Mobley's going to have a phenomenal year 3, and I'm so excited to watch him on both ends of the floor. We got Aaron Gordon coming in here at number 9 of the Denver Nuggets, the team that just won the championship. And I don't mean to be a Nuggets hater as well, because I did have Jamal Murray ranked 14th as a point guard. But I think Aaron Gordon is 100% a top 10 power forward in this league, and I do think his game definitely benefits like any player would playing next to Nikola Jokic. Gordon was phenomenal in the regular season last year, giving the Nuggets 16 points, 6.5 rebounds, 3 assists, shot 56% from the field, not terrible from 3 at 34%. I know we always compared him to maybe being a Draymond Light in Orlando. Now, I'm not saying he kind of became one in Denver, but he's still a phenomenal power forward and is really at the peak of his game right now. He was phenomenal against the Lakers in the conference finals and the Heat in the NBA finals. And I think he could move up even higher next year. I got Julius Randle in at number 8, and I do think that Randle is somewhat becoming more underrated because everybody calls him overrated. I mean, he was all NBA 2 of the last 3 seasons. He won Most Improved Player in 2021. He's been a 2-time All-Star since coming to the Knicks. He averaged 25 plus points per game last year. He gave the Knicks 10 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 46% from the field, 34 from 3. I do think he takes a lot of bad shots and does not hustle on the defensive floor at all, but he's still one of the better offensive power forwards in this league. And I think that's a good thing to debate. What would you prefer, Julius Randle's offense or Aaron Gordon's defense? Just mentioned that Julius Randle is a former Most Improved Player. Well, we have the most recent Most Improved Player coming in at number 7, and that's Lauri Markkanen. Markkanen was phenomenal last year in his first year in Utah, going from 15 points per game in the 2022 season with the Cavs to 25.5 points last year for Utah. Shot 49% from the field, 39% from 3, 8.5 rebounds, was an all-star. Still only 26 years old as well, and is a great building block for the Jazz going forward. We have a new power forward making this list, and that is Karl-Anthony Towns of the Minnesota Timberwolves here at 6. Cat was a new power forward last year since the Timberwolves did trade for Rudy Gobert. And over the last 5 seasons, and over the last 4 years, Cat hasn't been the most healthiest player in the league. Now, he's had great success when he's on the floor, but 35 games in 2020, 50 games in 2021, did play 74 in 2022, but last year only played in 29 games. But when Cat is on the floor, he's one of the best offensive centers, or at least now power forwards in the NBA. I'm really excited to watch a healthy Cat again, playing next to Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert for the Timberwolves in 2024. Now, speaking of players being great when they're on the floor, but maybe not on the floor, and that is Zion Williamson, who just never seems to be healthy so far. He's coming in at number 5. Because yeah, when Zion Williamson is healthy, he's one of the best overall players in the league, not just power forwards. 27 points per game in 2021, 26 points per game in 2023 last year, but only played in 29 games. So this is a huge season for Zion because I don't think if he plays more than 50 games next year, it's going to be really hard to rank Zion in the top 5 ever again at the power forward spot unless we see him fully healthy for at least 1 season. Coming in at number 4, we have the reigning D-Boy, Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. is one of the best defenders overall in the league over the last 2 seasons. Led the league in blocks in 2022 at 2.3. Last year, he had 3 blocks a night. He shot 50% from the field, 35% from 3. Really improved his offensive game too when Ja Morant was suspended. And I'm super excited to watch him to the start of this season when Ja Morant is going to be out as well, because I would love to see him be that number 1 option on the offensive end for the Grizzlies. And he's still only 23 years old, which is kind of mind-blowing. The power forward position defensively is in great hands with him, Draymond, Mobley, Aaron Gordon, etc. I do have Pascal Siakam ahead of Jaren Jackson Jr. here at number 3. Siakam has kind of been underrated the last few seasons. He has led the NBA in minutes per game the last 2 years. 37.9 in 2022, 37.5 last year. Shout out Nick Nurse, I guess. But yeah, in those 37 minutes, Siakam averaged 24 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists a night. He's an underrated playmaker, I think, overall in the NBA. Also shot 48% from the field. I do want to see his 3-point percentage go above 34 or 35% next year to see he's still consistent with that shot. But yeah, this is a contract year for Siakam, so I think he's going to have a phenomenal season, and he's going to get paid in the 2024 offseason for sure. So coming in at the number 2 spot, we have have Kevin Durant of the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, Kevin Durant is now a power forward in the NBA. He's pretty much been one for the last 3 to 4 seasons. Played 94% of his total minutes last year at the power forward position for the Suns. And yeah, when Kevin Durant is healthy, he's one of the best players in the NBA overall. He's one of the greatest players of all time. The dude is just super efficient for somebody that's 6'10". He only played in 8 games for the Suns in the regular season last year, but he gave them 26 points on 57, 53, 83 splits. He was phenomenal against the Clippers in round 1, 51, 45, 95 splits, giving them 28 points. He did struggle a little bit from the field and from 3 against Denver, but basically everybody did against Denver in the playoffs at times. He is 34 years old. We'll see if he can stay healthy in 2024, but I actually think this is a perfect ranking for him because he's better than everybody I've listed so far in the video, but not number 1. And number 1 is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis has been the best power forward in the NBA for pretty much the last 4 seasons. You can make an argument that Giannis is the best player in the NBA, and he had arguably the best year of his career last year, even though he didn't even win MVP. 31 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists a night, 55% from the field. He is a cheat code, and yeah, he's also one of the best defensive players in the NBA. Now, a disappointing end to their season in the playoffs, in which he was hurt against Miami in round 1. But yeah, like I said, he's one of the best players in the NBA. He'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer if he retired today at 28 years old, and there's a great chance that Giannis is the best player in the NBA next year and could win his 3rd MVP. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy my ranking of the top 30 power forwards in the NBA. Like I said in the beginning of the video, let me know what you agree with or disagree with in the comments. Also, don't say where's Anthony Davis. He's going to be in the center video next week. And if there was another guy that you don't think's a center that wasn't listed today, he was probably in the small forward video, so go watch that. Also, drop a like if you guys did enjoy. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes on this video. Thank you all for watching. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.